Thank you for that. This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I'm Buzz Birch. With me is Kip Cooper.
Hello.
As always. And our veteran player, Rodney.
Great numbers.
Rodney Muttergard, Lightning Rod. Muttergard, what's going on, man?
Always good to be in the studio. Always good to be in the studio.
We're good to have you, or we're glad to have you. Both.
Yeah, it's been a really great week of fantasy hockey.
Been great week of fantasy hockey. We have some of the familiar faces are starting to come around. Crosby making some difference now.
Yeah, looking very, very good.
Yeah, he's paying off for anyone who did waiver that first, couple round.
I was
first
worried.
couple picks. I should
Brain
say.
stew
First
on
one
ice
through
right
four,
now.
so.
Yeah.
When will it be reheated is the question.
Could be soon.
He might be in the microwave soon, man.
Microwave soon. He might be on the shelf soon.
well, he's playing good at the moment.
He's playing good at the moment, and
We
keep
can't-
going with that. That's great. I'm glad to see he's a young star. So good for him.
He's the fragile Fred of the NHL.
Well, yes, but I mean, he's still great, and he's having great fantasy numbers. So I mean,
So that's good.
if you picked him really early, like I told you not to do, then you've done good. And my method was bad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and actually, we're going to start with who's bad.
Who's bad?
That's right. And so, if you did unfortunately follow Kip Cooper's advice,
It was bad. That's who's
because
bad.
he started off with Chara with his first pick.
It
and,
was so bad.
Well,
You can't
He's bad.
draft from the heart. Can't draft from the heart.
draft from the heart. Yeah, you got to think with your head on fantasy draft day.
But I'm a Bruins fan.
So he's in the last week. He's been -3. He hasn't done much for anything for points for any fantasy owners right now. He's bad. Who else is bad? Ryan Miller going 1 for 4 here.
He's real
16
bad.
goals against.
That's not good.
That's not good. Pavlak hasn't won in a week. 14 goals against.
They look dreadful. Winnipeg
Yeah.
has. If you got anyone on Winnipeg, drop them. Bufflin.
Drop him. Go look to trade him maybe if you have Pavlak.
Well, Bufflin
It's a
has
good
been day
name.
to day for like a week, and they just got lit up by the Lightning, and that was.
And then
Not
also,
get it done.
yeah, and you also said this was a kind of a coming of age for the Sedins.
I thought it would be. I thought they would
Maturity.
be brothers, not sisters. But
So far, disappointment all around for the Sedins. I think 1 assist in the last week for Daniel, and Henrik's not doing really much of anything at all either. The Sedins, well,
they're getting
sisters. Yeah,
back. They got their frickin' wigs back on.
it's not good. And then, I know a couple people weren't liking what happened to the Devils recently. It started off hot, but
Ooh,
recently,
nice pun. I like the pun.
yeah, but no, recently, I don't know, they've cooled down. That's not
Who's
a-
bad? New Jersey
New
Devils.
Jersey.
Is
All
who's
of them.
bad?
Ilya
Yeah.
Kovalchuk. Did he just phoned it in? Did he even bother to call on?
He-
I don't even think he showed
They're
up.
not showing up though.
I think he just set his jersey on the bench and he went home.
He does still look good in all the shootouts, though. He hasn't lost that.
I'm sure they would rather he just laid his jersey on the bench. I mean, him going out there is a detriment to the team at the moment.
Wow. I don't know. Well,
Well, tell
not
us
that
what was
far,
his
but
fantasy numbers this week? He had like -3 points.
-3.
That's dreadful.
Yeah, 0 goals. Like I said, he looked good in shootouts, but shootouts don't get you fantasy points. So
And
right now,
they only get you 1 point for the win. It's
yeah, we're not liking it. We're not liking New Jersey. Brodeur, be careful. Let's look at the positives, though. Vanek is being incredible right now. 5 goals, 5 assists the last week.
He's got to be because Ryan
for
Miller's playing
Buffalo.
so bad.
Yeah,
he
that's
is.
true.
He's
He does
carrying
need.
all of Buffalo.
It's a good point. Luckily he's still getting a lot of opportunities. Their defense and they're letting a lot of points up, but they're scoring a lot. So it's a lot of fast-paced games in Buffalo. So that can be good for you fantasy-wise. We said how Crosby was getting back in his groove. He's had 7 assists in the last week and a goal. 4 penalty minutes to join him there too. That's some extra points. That's good.
Lighten it up.
Lighting it up, and also for the defense, Letang on that side. Pittsburgh's been hot. So Letang's been hot, 2 goals, 2 assists, +4 overall.
Had
6
43
hits.
fantasy points this week alone.
Yeah,
in our league.
In our league, yeah, in the Yahoo league. So that's great. That's
Pittsburgh's
great
definitely
numbers.
a stacked team.
They're playing good too, and the familiar face. He's paying off for anyone who picked him, first or second is Stamkos.
Yeah, the
He's
Lightning are playing
lights
amazing.
out, lights out.
They're playing lights in.
Lights
Lightning.
in, lightning. That's good. I like how that kind of worked.
Okay,
But
it
he
didn't
is.
work,
He is.
but
4
it
goals,
almost
2
worked.
assists, and 4 penalty minutes the last week. And yeah, a point so far in all of the Lightning games. And yeah, did I mention they're like that highest scoring team still in the NHL? 39 goals so far.
Wow. And
That's
those
a lot.
Western teams have been putting it up.
And then Someone who has also been good. I'm excited for this because we were worried. We went out on a pretty strong stretch there of hating on Corey Schneider a couple weeks ago, and it's paid off.
Yeah, we were smart to hate on that guy.
Vancouver, listen, I'm glad for it. Luongo has been hot. He what once thought was like a trade commodity. Now 3 wins, 3 goals against. In those 3 wins, a shutout among them. He's the top goalie in Vancouver.
Are they going to still trade Luongo?
Maybe they're just building him up, and they know that Schneider's better. They're just like lulling teams to picking him up. You think that's like possible?
Definitely bettering the trade value, but I think trade Schneider. Stick with Luongo. I mean, what more do you ask for a guy?
That's true, and he's playing hot.
He was actually somebody I drafted as a later draft pick. He's still on my bench now. Didn't get to play him this week because I don't know the situation still, but might have to put him in my lineup this week.
I think you should.
Schneider?
Wait, not Schneider. No,
Luongo.
Luongo. Yes, absolutely.
No Schneider.
Yes.
No
Yeah,
Schneider.
not Schneider.
No Schneider.
Schneider's the junk drawer. Luongo's lineup. Get him in the lineup. Put him in. We're doing it. Everyone should do it.
I like it. He looks like Opera Man, Adam Sandler.
I guess so. Something like that.
Back to the show.
Back to the fantasy anyway. So last week brought, unfortunately, a couple of pain trains, a couple of injuries, a couple of guys on the shelf. Somebody left the shelf, though. Somebody got dusted off.
Yeah, PK Subban off the shelf.
Off the shelf.
It actually happened before we were able to air our show last week, so it did kind of make me look a little foolish.
Well, I mean, at the
segment.
time, we were looking really smart, and Rod Muttergaard, he knows what he knows.
But right now, on the shelf, we got Ryan Callahan. He went down in a fight.
Yes.
On the shelf for a while, getting repaired.
About a
Jason
month
Spezza,
at least.
also down.
Yeah.
And Lance Cog, one of the lead young dudes, down.
Yeah,
Down.
young captain for Colorado. That's unfortunate. He was
He's like
real
a
good
knick-knack
last
right
year.
now. He's sitting on the shelf.
And Spezza, what's up? I mean, he missed some time last year, and now he's going to be out potentially the whole season. They're hoping he comes back for the end, but really, drop him.
And
He's on the shelf.
The front office there should looking to try to recoup some of that freaking contract money.
Yeah.
He's
not
done.
helping them at all.
He's done.
PK Subban, though, however, coming back strong, 2 assists in the first 2 games. There's no dust on him, so don't be worried to make a move for him. If
There's a little bit of dust, but I mean,
he looks good.
he's
You're
better.
You're just a hater.
He should have came back when the season started.
He should have, of course, but he wanted some money. He's one of the league's premier guys, so whatever. They worked it out for 2 years at least.
Hey, he's selling tickets up there. He's the man
selling
up there.
tickets.
Yeah, that's why I think they should have just paid him.
Yeah, see, you can't hate on him. You got to hate on the Montreal front office.
Yeah. Screw the Montreal front office.
And their fan base, they're still mad about their coach not being French.
Yeah, that's always going to anger them. They like a French coach.
It doesn't work for fantasy either. It doesn't help their value.
No, totally not.
So looking into now, back to fantasy here. Looking into next week.
Yes.
Some teams, some players to target. Let's go to the scrap heap.
Who's on the scrap heap?
Let's go to the scrap heap. Let's see who's available. First of all, as opposed to individual players, of course, the plus and minus, just being out on the ice, always a value. So who are some of the top teams to target? Who do you look for looking at this fantasy waiver wire?
You have to always look into like the depth of the Red Wings. They're always going to put up really good points. Anaheim's been doing it.
Anaheim has been hot.
Chicago, they're still hot.
Yep.
Still hot.
Oh, absolutely. Chicago's hot. Vancouver's really starting to come along behind Luongo. Tampa Bay, again, we talked about. 39 goals for us. That leads the league.
Sammy Salo, he's a guy that if he's on the scrap heap, pick him up immediately if you have like a low-level defender that's just not getting it done.
Yeah, absolutely. Boston, Pittsburgh again, and actually Carolina, team now is starting to get a little bit hotter, and Carolina and the Islanders as well. Another couple teams that are starting to turn and get hot, so watch for the uprising. You said Sammy Salo, totally, that's a good point, 5 assists. How about Sam Gagner for Edmonton? 3 goals, 7 assists, and 10 penalty minutes. Those are some
Someone's
got
to do something in Edmonton.
Someone's got to do it. Yeah, so pick him up if he's still available. And Saku Koivu for Anaheim. He's on that third line with Winnick. They're still playing hot.
Not Mika,
so.
Saku.
Saku. And then also we said the Islanders, they've got a young kid, they have a kid anyway. Nielsen, 7 assists so far. Islanders, they're kind of, like I said, starting to turn the wing here. So watch for them potentially.
Nice.
It might be good stuff.
Great stuff.
Great stuff, we hope. What's not going to be good stuff?
Who's bad next week?
Who's bad next week? Those are the guys you should pick up. Who should you avoid? Who smells like shit? Who is on the stink line? Who do you not pick up no matter what? Or not even not pick up. Let's look at like who do you not start?
Yeah, tell us, Rod. Who is on?
I'm gonna stick with Kovalchuk. I don't think. I mean, the Devils looking like they're playing. I don't expect to. He's gonna keep phoning it in. He's still probably considering his money he could have got if he'd stayed in Russia. But I mean, he's back now.
Yeah.
And let's hope he starts putting up numbers because he's a good player. I expect a lot out of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's
disappointing right
needs
now.
more out of the shootouts because that's all he's doing right now. He needs more outside of that. So you're right. He's on the stink line. New Jersey right now is kind of on the downstroke. So watch out for them. I've got a defenseman.
Who do you got
for my stink line? Someone who I drafted him high because who didn't? Shea Weber. He was like the best last year. Nothing this year. Nothing so far at all. 0 goals, 0 assists. -1 for the plus or minus. He does have 21 shots on goal. That's somewhat comforting for potential, but really,
he's not getting it done.
Nothing. So I'm not even going to
close.
start him next week. I'm going to wait and see. Nashville, they're average right now. They're doing okay, but he is not showing up. Suter got traded. That was his line mate last year. A lot of people were worried about it. I wasn't, and apparently I should have been. So Shea Weber, you're on the stink line. Put him on the bench.
All right.
Who do you got, Cooper?
The Kippers stink line. I usually do a goalie. Last week I picked Jonas Hiller of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
He didn't even play like a couple of the games.
That was a good call.
So
the hot hand is that, yeah.
I might even go with Jonas Hiller again this week because the guy that was in last night ripped it up. Jonas Hiller. That's
Flashed or something like Flashed, I think.
Yeah, it was like Flashed or something. You might want to look him up.
Yeah.
He's a very
Victor.
Yeah.
It was Victor's Flashed.
He was good. Good stuff.
He looked good.
But Hiller...
And that was against San Jose.
Yeah, they're
one of the top teams.
Yeah.
They've got 31 goals forced.
Big
and
scoring coming out
them.
of San Jose. Big scoring.
They do. Them and St. Louis both have 31 goals for the season.
I think Jonas Hiller is trade bait right now. I don't know.
Good.
I mean, you might want to keep him on your bench, but I wouldn't. He's definitely stink line. This upcoming week, he might play a game, and we'll probably lose it.
So are you sticking with him on the stink line? That's who you should not play. Don't start him this week.
Who's bad? Those guys are bad.
Those guys are bad. All right, before we wrap it up, let's look at the big game. Someone you do want to get in your lineup.
Yep.
We're looking at fantasy points here.
What's the big game?
The big game, it looks like Edmonton is going to be visiting Detroit.
This Saturday, yep.
Stack them. If you've got Detroit players, put them in.
Red sweaters, put them in.
Pick them up. Just pick them up on the waiver and start them.
Fourth line. If they're
going to be in
line,
Detroit.
put them in.
Yeah, there's going to be goals galore. We have a feeling in this game, Detroit is starting to get... They're going to be hot coming into this week, so I would watch for that. They're going to look up to put up a lot of goals.
And with solid goaltending with Howard, he's not going to let in more than a couple now that he's all seeded into the season.
Starting to break in, wearing in.
They don't have a shot.
The rust is wearing off. I mean, they're one of the older teams, you know. They didn't really get started, but they're going to finish well.
They will finish well.
And this weekend, they're going to lay a beating. Mark my words, this is a guarantee. The Kipper is guaranteeing.
God. No, don't do that. You just jinxed it. Now it's not going to happen.
Oh, come on. A guarantee it's going to be 5-1 Detroit win.
All right. Well, you'll have to come back next week and we'll find out. You can give Kipper Cooper some crap on his
or praise me when
or
I'm
praise
right.
him when he's right. You can follow us on Twitter at Kipper Cooper, at Buzz Birch, and at LightningRod49. Come back next week on Sportsmanlike Conduct. We'll give you some more advice, be it good or bad.
Peace.
Later.
This has been Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Tune in next week for more hard-hitting coverage of the games you care about.